Hello, guys. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. All right, guys. Sorry, I didn't post any videos. There was no recaps last few days. Was just waiting for this Fed rate cut to get out of the way. There's not much we did anyways. This week there were not many trades, and we were waiting for this Fed rate cut. So, anyways, here we are. Big day, huge day. Fed cut day. We had some solid trades before the midday Fed chop. We were able to scalp some. We had full plan. I had given the plan in the pre-market as well. What we're going to do, and we will discuss that in detail. So I just want to talk about. This one is again one of those FOMC playlist. So this will go to my FOMC playlist. If you have watched my other FOMC playlist videos, it's going to be a bit similar. So we'll discuss few things. Also want to discuss a lot on risk management because I saw some people getting chopped on 0DTs. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about our Apple trade. We'll talk about why did we long Apple, why did we swing, and what was going on with Apple, and why it's still a good swing. So we're going to discuss that. We will discuss the rate sensitive names that are moving. So we'll see what's next, what's going to be tomorrow and Friday, and rest of the week and the month. So we'll discuss all that. Just before I do that, just a quick introduction. All these trade ideas, teachings, anything I discuss here is from any ideas that I share on Twitter, X, or anything we discuss in our community, or anything I share with you guys in my previous YouTube videos. We do not trade at random. We trade repeatable system. A repeatable system, thousands of traders across the world use to trade consistently. We have repeatable setups. We focus on good setups. We don't try to trade anything that comes up. Our focus is to wait and execute the best setups. We try to keep our losers small, our winners big, and we divide we divide our plays every morning. We have this plan you see in front of you. Me and my team, we all create this game plan for the community where we make a plan how we're going to trade for the day. What you see is a game plan for today. Today was FOMC day. That's why for our community members today, so we had all these plans on our watch list today. As you see, we already had IWM, TNA, TZA as on our game plan. We will discuss later. We had SOXL, SOXS, and other rate sensitive names on our watch list. So we were ready, right? So you can see on the left right side, I had those ready. And of course, we had bunch of news, bunch of upgrades, downgrades. You can see all these are the marketplace which we play every day, and then you on the bottom you can see the upgrades and downgrades. Then we have our day 2 repeatable setup. This is the strategy that I built. Adobe, RH, Oracle were few of our top day 2 day 3 setups that we trade. I did a free webinar explaining what day 2 day 3 setups are. You can watch my previous YouTube videos, learn these setups. Very profitable setups. So these are very profitable setups if you learn them. Again, didn't really do much on a lot of these plays because today was FOMC day, but this is what we have usually, and sometimes we have good plays then. In addition to that, we have our low float and penny watch list. Today, our team members created, RGV takes care of these. PRTG was a top one low float setup. We will review this as well. And then of course we have our daily we trade coin, MSTR, crypto levels. We have these crypto levels. So we always trade these crypto plays. We have these support and resistance levels which we provide the community before the market opens, and they can trade it with the Ripster EMA Clouds. Then we have our daily levels for SPY, QQQ, IWM. These are what I call market plays, and these are market dependent plays. They move with the market. So I'm on voice first few hours the market opens. Today I was also on the voice when we had FOMC, guiding the community and going through all the trades if I'm taking any trades, or guiding through the plays we have. Of course, we have a trading floor where 1,000 plus traders, or hundreds of traders. They're trading, sharing trade ideas, and a lot of valuable info there. And I have we have all of our tools, option flow scanners, news bots. Everything is in our we have it everything in our community, which is an advanced trading platform. We have everything there. So we keep eyes on the news. Breaking news is right on our trading floor, and there's flow scanners. We keep eyes on the flows. Apple was a great trade with the flow there, and so yeah, that's how we navigate day. We mostly focus intraday on day trades. Also take some swings, like Apple was our overnight swing. So all right, guys, that was introduction. Let's start with the recap of the day. So all right, so let's start with talking about, wow, how did we navigate the market before FOMC? So what we were trying to do before FOMC. So as we knew, it's an FOMC day, we were not planning to do much. Although we were watching this VIX, and let's see, I can show you my time-stamped comments here. A lot of my comments are on voice, so you won't see what I was talking or guiding the community today. So okay, so as you see in the morning, I'll just go to this window, maybe this is better here. So let's look at SPY here. Oh, crazy candles in the mid of the day. Let me just turn everything off here. So that, let me just make these things off. All right, so this was the morning. What's that? Where is it? I need to turn it off. This one. All right, here you go. Okay, so you see that this was the morning, right? So SPY, this was the first morning SPY candle. If I turn the clouds on, you can see what's happening here, right? We are going bearish, and there should be a MTF cloud down here as well. So maybe I can just lighten it a bit. It's too dark. Yeah. So I see that. So this is a bearish short signal for me, right? Because we are not able to get our pre-market highs. We're breaking the clouds. It's a short signal. And same for QQQ, right? So we are not breaking pre-market highs. We're breaking the 10-minute clouds, and we are fading down. So SPY QQQ was a short. Basically, SPY was a better short than QQQ in the morning, because we were breaking the levels. There are the levels that we provide in the pre-market. You can see that SPY was breaking those levels, 563.53. The level was breaking down right here, so we know that it's breaking down, so it's going to be a bearish, right? And then there's this level. So that was the short. We were doing the market in the morning. SPY QQ, you can see it, SPY QQQ short, okay, breaking 34.50. SPY into lower MTF. SPY QQ still a short. So SPY QQQ still a short. There's still a bearish. Ever till bearish till 11.50, right? So this was the morning short, right? I can zoom it out, but you can clearly see the morning shorts on SPY. So that was the morning short setups. And why was it? It was for many reasons. Of course, there's a some profit taking into Fed. VIX was elevated, VIX was gapping. Today VIX was kind of broken. We couldn't really use it in the right way, but all we needed was this SPY. And also we often look at, if you watch my previous YouTube videos, we often look at, also watch my market analysis webinar. We talk about Microsoft weakness. You see this, right? Google was weak in the morning. Microsoft was weak in the morning. Semiconductors were selling off in the morning. So a lot of them were weak, right? So that's the reason SPY QQQ was weak. So this was our morning short. We did those short. We locked our profit, and then we were waiting for mid of the day. So now discuss the FOMC, what happened in FOMC. So for FOMC, my plan was pretty clear. We made a plan. I was on the voice. 2 p.m. was FOMC. I was on the voice at 1:50. So our plan was simple, right? If it's 25 BPS, then it's bearish, right? Market's going to sell off. It's priced in. If it's 50 BPS, the focus won't be SPY Qs, but the focus will be IWM and TNA, right? So how we do that, usually what happens is, when there is a good news, and if the market breaks the pre-market high on that good news, and in this case we were not really breaking all-time highs, but we tried, but we failed, you take it long, right? So you take it long when you see good response. So of course FOMC is bullish, we don't know. 50 BPS is bullish. Initially, it's bullish. It's bullish for the smaller caps, but market likes it. That's fine. So, but we need to use technicals. sometimes the fundamentals are pretty clear that we can rely on them. Today we were not sure about what Powell is going to say when he comes up, what he's going to say on the future rate cuts. Like, he did say that future rate cuts will not be similarly aggressive. He did say that future rate cuts can even be paused if needed. So there was a lot of uncertainty there. Sometimes there is a lot of certainty and you see big squeezes happening. And not only that, when till the Powell speaks, the market holds, and once he's done speaking, market fades. It's always happened, right? Always happened. But let's talk about this, right? When we are trying to long this, let's talk about IWM. So 50 BPS is announced. You take a long right away. You do not wait because you see the pre-market high breaking out, right? So the plan was to long IWM or TNA on the bullish move on the 50 bps, because we all know that it's a 50 bps aggressive rate is good for IWM, the smaller caps and the leverage ETF IWM. So that's why we longed IWM, right? So I had like 5,000 shares or something. Right away I market order. I was on the voice and right away I told people that I'm long IWM. Yes, people were scalping SPY QQQ, but we talk about that later. You have to be really fast. You can lose a lot of money on SPY QQQ options and 0DT options. So I prefer the shares which I can manage much better, which I was. I was able to take, I didn't really have a great entry. I didn't fill right away. I filled more over like 44, 70 or something. And I even had some fills at 45s, but that's fine. We pushed to 46. So that was a good scalp. And I kind of mismanaged a little bit because when it was pulling back, I was on 3-minute and I thought it's breaking. You can see the difference in 3-minute. So 3-minute will tell you that it's breaking down and, just exit, right? You've been breaking down here. But 10-minute never broke down. So 10-minute held the trend. So, and it bounced again. Look here, 10 minutes, right? TNA breaks out. So either you long that, the first one, or you long the retest and it holds and it pushes again. And I talk about here, let's say, so I was selling it, I sold more, I sold everything. And then when it was bouncing, I said I want to add again because you see it's holding this previous breakout. So I tried to scalp again and that one kind of worked. Third time when it pulled back and, then I cut it. And I tried to bounce it again, did not work, we were out. So I had 2 successful trades and I had 1 bad trade on TNA. But the point was either you long closer to here. If you're longing here, it's risky. You have to understand the risk. You have to be close to your technical levels when you're trading FOMC. Otherwise, you can get whipped. We could easily have got whipped here. Even if I'm buying here, I could have easily got whipped. But the probability of having a bigger push is there, 50 BPS, breaking pre-market highs, there is a probability, right? So there was enough time to make money from 564 to 569. Look where SPY went, where QQQ went. So you trade with the technical levels, right? You know that the technical is bullish. Even when it pulled back and when it bounced here, right, this candle, technicals were bullish because it wanted to hold. SPY was pretty volatile. You could lose a lot of money in this range. This is $6-7 range, right? This is hard. So 0DT, you get in, you get out, you get in, you get out, you get chopped, you lose a lot of money. So I explicitly told a lot of people that you trade 0DTE, either you add at the lows, you hold, let it work, because if you are going to in and out, you will lose a lot of money. And I think few people had that as well. So anyways, and then when we broke this, so this is initial move, and this is initial move. Powell started to speak. Powell is speaking, and I don't know when Powell got done. I think Powell got done. Let's see when he got done, right? Fed was done at right here. You see this candle? So we can go here. We can look at here. So Powell was done right here, 320. And you see after Powell got done, we got a nice $4 fade. You can scalp this break of this right here, this EMA cloud. And that's, I didn't take the puts, but I traded SOXL because SOXS, sorry, the bearish ETF on the, I had few opportunities to trade that bearish ETF. There was this first flush when Powell was speaking, the clouds breaking down, when SOXS was going to long it, took that scalp, and then there was a second flush when Powell was done, and you could long this, take a scalp, or you can trade puts here. So my point is, overall it's whippy action. It's not easy to trade, so a new trader should probably stay away. The best trade was right when they announced the 50 bps. We breaking out of this level, and then we push high. So that was the best trade. So once that initial euphoria is done, it's very easy to get chopped in this range, especially if you're trading 0 DTEs, because if you're adding on the tops, you're stopping out here, it's a problem, right? So when this is happening, we are not making, look what, we never made a newer high after this, didn't really make, lower high, lower high, lower high. So you need to see this price action. If the candles were making, if this candle made a higher lows right here, you see this is a lower low. If we made a higher low, then yes, we had a chance for SPY to run. But not when we make a high, we make a little bit new high, and then we also make a lower, this lower closing candle, and then lower closing candle, lower low, lower low. So this you need to get out. And if you're trying to short it, you have to short away from the support. You cannot short it right here. So if you were trying to short here, you got squeezed, big squeeze. If you're trying to short here, you got squeezed. So I try to avoid that, right? If I'm taking close to the clouds, that's fine. I can take that risk when we are breaking the clouds right here, but not right here. So that's where you lose money. So that's what I always talk about when you're trying to trade FOMC. You need to use our technical levels. If I'm trading long versus a pre-market high break, I made money. That was the best trade. And after that it was just a job up and down. So anyways, this was how we traded SPY QQQ in the community. Basically I focused on IWM and TNAs, live guidance there. We tried to, you see there was a flush at 34.50. There was few opportunities to short here, those were some levels to short scalp it, right? After this breakdown there was no long. Now looking at the long term on SPY QQQ, Powell just, the 50 BPS is not that crazy bullish for the whole market, because market is little spooked about if Fed is too late, recession fears, and how many more rate cuts the Fed gonna do, how aggressive the Fed is going to be. So we are kind of in flux. I am personally expecting to the smaller caps to catch a bid on aggressive rate cuts. So we'll see what happens. But notable that SPY could not get over the all-time highs today. So tomorrow, if I'm not getting over the all-time highs, I'm not going to long it. And I want to see VIX go back under 18, because if VIX pushes over 18, market has enough room to pull back and chop in this range that you see, right? So use this chart. This chart will come handy. I mean, definitely a breakout setup. One, twice, thrice. Can we push higher? Of course, if we can, if we want to. Our market would digest the news today, and tomorrow the investors would decide what are they going to do rest of the year, rest of the quarter. So that's going to be interesting on the markets. FOMC is out of the way. They are not going to do any more 50 BPS, and maybe they do 25. And if does market like that, we'll see. I think smaller cap will definitely like it. My market just needs the time to digest it. You will see a lot of fear mongering on the both sides. Somebody will say we are going to the moon. Somebody will say, oh, recession is coming. We are doom and gloom. Ignore that. Ignore all that noise. Follow your rules. Follow your system. Do a systematic trading investing. Don't do it blindly. So that's what we do every day, day in, day out. We don't create a bias. We go with the system, right? Also something to note today, SPY held, that's why SPY was holding, because it's holding this 1 hour chart. That's why it was bouncing. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. We have a plan and we'll go with it. Just remember, SPY has to break all-time high for everything to keep pushing more. That's why I do like IWM more, because it's way down from its its all-time highs. Although if the whole market is weak, IW can take a breather. It just doesn't really have to go right away. It can take a breather before it goes. So we just have to be right with the timing. We don't need to rush. We don't need to um, you know have FOMO. We just need to be systematic and let the trade come to us. If the market really likes the rate cards, there are going to be a lot of swing trades in this mid cap world. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. So let's wait for them. Anyways, let's go to the other daily recaps. All right, trying to keep this video small. Let's look at Apple. So what was happening today in Apple? So I've been tweeting about on Apple for a few days now. Let's look at Apple. So you see that Apple was over long today. What was the news on Apple? Apple, the news was kind of bearish. It was, what's his name? The Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs here, right here. Morgan Stanley said we can go to 200. Apple didn't care. So the trade on Apple was a simple one. You see, this is, let's go to the 1 hour. And you can see we had overnight long from yesterday. I also gave a long this morning over the MTF cloud. So it was an MTF cloud system long on Apple. My target was 222, which we did eventually meet. We cut the day trades here from the long here. You can see the timestamp guidance. We did hold the swing though, still holding the swing. The swing was from yesterday 216s, risk was 215. We risked $1, we already made $6. So that's the risk reward we are looking at. So let's see if I can show you even on Twitter, those of who you are not in the community, if I can show you that. So you can see, I was talking about this 215 buyer, which has been on Apple for many days, right? And you can see this, right? This nice little tightening pattern, getting tight, getting tight, getting tight. So that tells me that anytime the buyer is holding, the sellers will go away and we will get the push. And that was, that was yesterday. And sorry, the last tweet was yesterday. And today, this morning, as soon as we started to push, finally the move. And here's the move that you can see that we talk about on the, we break the 1 hour MTF cloud, we break the daily MTF cloud. Our target is the daily MTF cloud right here. And not only that, we had an Apple Flow Ghost Board, which is a great tool. You should definitely try it out. He gave the alerts, their flow system, which is on our scanners as well, that gave us the Apple long alert right at open, and that was our conviction to long Apples. Beautiful trade, 1 risk, 6 reward with the overnight trade. If you trade it in the morning, even then it was like 1 risk to 4 reward trade. So Apple was a solid trade. You can see on the Twitter as well, I've been talking about it. I showed the buyers at 215, 216s. Simple setup, 1 hour reversal. I also teach in the community, any play we are making money on, I teach them. So see, and my community knows, they learn, right? So the reasoning behind the Apple trade. So 68% people know what the setup is. It was 1 hour chart pattern with the MTF cloud reclaim, buying at 215, 240, 14 basing, right? So easy setup. You can clearly see the Ripster cloud changing the colors. And this is our long, nice winner. So we had another winner this morning. That was Oracle. So this was our Oracle. So Oracle was from I've been watching Oracle because it's running, right? It's been running so many days. It's extended, not really extended, but it is the one which will give up if the market decides to stay weak. You can see that it ran so much from 144 all the way to 174. We had a good short the other day. We had a long from the MTF cloud, and today broke the MTF cloud again, and that was the short, and that's why I gave it in number top 3 in the day 2 day 3 list. So that was my trade. I like that. You see, short it right away. I gave those levels. You have to be early to know these levels. 167.50. As soon as that level goes, you short it right here. Short it, fade it, bouncing. If it breaks 512s, you cover, but it never broke 512s, and it went on to give. There was a buy at 164.50. That's what I'm told everybody to lock half there, and if it goes beyond, then you lock completely. But since I talked about the short, it went on to fade from 166 all the way to 163.73. Decent scalp, nothing crazy. And I gave the exits as well at 1:09 p.m. When I gave that, even after that, Oracle pushed from that curl. Oracle pushed 166 right and back into the MTFs, right, daily MTF clouds. So that was another easy win. Let's look at some more. Some of other trades in community I just want to highlight. I didn't know trade them, but CRM was there because CRM was on our game plan. Let's see where it go. Let me see if okay. So you see that CRM collaboration with NVIDIA. Cautious of gap fill. Only long if clouds hold. So CRM was grabbing up. Just like BS news, doesn't really matter, the club collaboration, and then it flushed and it broke MTF cloud, MTF short. It faded from 255 all the way to 250.90, 6. So beautiful trade. CRM, you can see, I was, beautiful trade. MTF short. It's just the system, right? You stay with the system. Your system, Ripster Cloud, MTF Cloud System is telling you to short. You stay short. Just have to find a good entry there. There was another similar one this morning that was EA. Oh, not this one. That was EA, had electronic ads. Not a huge range, but definitely a good short in the morning. You can see it's gapping down. And, the plan on EA was, let's see, where was the plan on EA? Bank of Security buy rating. I didn't really care about the buy rating. It's gapping down. So bearish buys to short. So that's why I highlighted it, and that's right away. It was a faded right from the morning, broke that level, Ripster Cloud, and short the pops, and it faded as well. I just want to cover a low float that was by PRTG, which was on our low float number 1 watch list. PRTG 1 million float, and it's a repeatable low float Ripster Cloud setup that I often talk about. And it's nothing hard, but these are special setups. This was a 3450 morning bounce, and if you watch my previous, so if you go and go to Ripster Education and study, so this PRTG was specially a great guidance by RGV on a beautiful morning curls. So I'll show you from RGV screenshot, right? So there's a bounce 3450. This is the breakout. This is the long. This is your risk. And it's a repeatable setup. I mean, you get out completely when it does it, and you can see the PRTG from our low floor, number 1 play, guidance by RGV all day. It went from $11 to $22. You could risk $2-3 and make like $7-8-9. Repeatable setup. And you know why it's going? Because we did that GLMD yesterday, and because once their 1 play theme is running, which went from $5 to $22, they're going to find another similar place. Today was PRTG, right? As simple as that. I did cover this one on my Twitter as well. So, there are a lot of opportunities on small caps, tiny, these micro caps. They're mostly crap companies, but it's supply demand trade. There's no fundamentals behind it. It's just a supply demand trade. So PRTG was a nice one. Good job, RGV and others in the community. There was one more short from day 2, day 3 setup. That was Adobe, our number 1 day 2, day 3 setup. See, nothing is too low. Adobe has been fading since it broke all the MTF clouds. And even today, Adobe was number 1 day 3 short. It faded from our level. What was the level? Our level was 514.61, and broke that. And then it broke this level, 514, and it faded to 507s. You don't see the extent of the move. If I do this, you can see it, right? So that was Adobe was another day to day short winner. You see there's no MTF clouds close by. It was just a regular gap down and fade, and Adobe still has room to go to 500 before it can bounce. So we have to watch this 500 level, see what Adobe does there. So ideally it gets there, and if it holds, we can bounce it for a swing. If not, we leave it alone because there's a gap down there. All right, guys, thank you. Take care. See you tomorrow.